Good evening, everyone. It is Tuesday, July 7th at 6 p.m., and I'd like to call the regular Board of Trustees meeting to order. And we'll have a short invocation. Father, we ask for your wisdom, guidance, and discernment in the decisions we make that affect our village and its residents. We also ask you to watch over our police and military and all first responders who serve. Thank you. And roll call.
Trustee Keller.
Here.
Trustee McGurran.
Here.
Trustee Nelson.
Here.
Trustee Pike.
Here.
Trustee Porter.
Here.
Trustee Rowdy.
Here.
And President Wecken.
Here. Item 2, review and approve minutes from the regular board meeting of July 2nd, 2026.
Move to approve.
Thanks, Brian. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Is that John?
Yes.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Any amendments, corrections, or additions to the minutes? Hearing none. All in favor of the minutes as presented, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's on the unanimous decision. Next item, comments from the floor limited to 3 minutes per speaker. Opportunity for Village of North Hudson residents, property owners, business owners to make the board aware of new topics, issues, or opportunities not on today's agenda for consideration for future meetings. Is there anyone here that has something new to bring up? Hearing none. We'll move on to item 4. New business from the board or staff. Usually the president's comments. Well, there's not an awful lot going on in July. I hope everyone had a safe and wonderful 250th anniversary on the 4th of July. And now we're up to Gina.
All right. So a couple of updates. The first one I just wanted to remind all of us on is during these meetings that are videoed, it is very, very hard for people watching from home or watching after the fact to follow along when there's conversations happening in the audience, conversations happening that aren't directly in front of the microphone. And so I'm just reminding everybody, for everyone listening at home, to make sure you're talking into your microphone. So for those of us up here, many of us lean back and then you can't hear. And then for those of you in the audience, if you could, again, help us within our guidelines by not speaking from the audience and only speaking when called upon by the chair and then coming up to the microphone. It really does help people that are trying to watch along from home to follow better through the meeting. So thank you for that. We do have another election that is coming up. It is our partisan primary. It is scheduled for Tuesday, August 11th. Again, a partisan primary is only allows you to vote within your party. So again, remember that when you're coming in and looking at your votes, what you're deciding is who gets on the ballot from your party in the November election. So we'll have a lot of guidelines and extra ballots for mistakes, but just a reminder, that is the purpose of the primary, is to stay within your party. Absentee mailing has started. We've already started that, and the absentee in-person actually starts on July 28th and runs through August 7th. Again, what's on the ballot, who's on the ballot, hours of operation during in-person voting is all on. Can anybody guess what I'm going to say? myvote.wi.gov is the best place for information. So I promise I have no stake in myvote.wi.gov. I just say it at every meeting because it's a great site for information on voting. We did also add a donation link to our village website, and people are probably thinking donations, but we do receive quite a few donations, the village. Police department, we often have people that want to donate to our parks. So we have simplified that process and allowed that now to take place online. So you can go in and make a donation online. You can choose which department you would like to make the donation to, obviously how much, and if you have a specific thing in mind that you would like to donate to, that can all be done online now. So hopefully that makes it easier for those of you that are interested in contributing to one of our projects. The rest that we have, so we had 7 builders permits issued in May. We had actually 7 new peddlers license coming through. So we've got 7 custom remodelers that did submit their peddler's license to go through. So again, that's 90 days they have to go door to door. Them along with the Sweet Treats ice cream truck are the peddlers that we have approved right now within the village. We also approved 5 operators license, 1 utility permit during the last month. And then just a reminder that next Tuesday, that's the same location, on the 14th at 7 o'clock, we have our Board of Zoning Appeals. They only meet as needed, and this time they have 3 variances that they will be discussing in that meeting, and the agenda is out on the board if you're curious as to what's on that discussion.
That's it? Excellent. Thank you. Item number 5, Northern Natural Gas Bore Request, Discussion, Possible Action.
Stan, I move to approve the request by Northern Natural Gas to enter into a temporary bore agreement authorizing access to enter upon an agreed location in Ferry Landing for the sole and limited purpose of performing soil borings.
Thank you, Brian. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thanks, John. Discussion? Gina?
Yeah, I will add that after the meeting, last meeting where we talked about the approval of the survey, the bore was discussed, but we didn't have the document for the boring in front of us. And so Paul did have a chance to review it, did provide some feedback to Northern Natural Gas. They did make the updates based on Paul's responses. I did meet with them in Ferry Landing. We did find a location that would work for both them and meet their needs and be very the least disruptive place we think we can find in Ferry Landing. I did confirm that their boring is, they're looking at 230 would be the max they would bore down, and the size of the boring hole would be about 6 inches. So that would be, it'd be minimal impact for their boring results. And so the agreement that they would like for us to sign is listed in the packet, but it is, like I said, Paul has reviewed it. I have met with them, and I think the location and the impact would be minimal.
Very good. Any questions for Gina or?
Where is the location, and do they have to remediate the site?
Yes, they absolutely do. So on the back, I'm not really sure why it comes over with a kind of an Exhibit A blank, and then the big picture is on the back. So when you pull into the Ferry Landing parking lot, it's kind of over on the left-hand side. There's a little bit of an opening. If you're looking towards the river, there's a little bit of an opening there before I think it's an old outbuilding, or I don't know what that building is right there, but it'd be right in front of that building is where we agreed to have them bore. We wouldn't need to remove any branches or trees for them to get their truck in there. And they were happy with that location.
So that little pin that's B19, that's the location?
That's the location, yep.
Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of the request to for Northern Natural Gas for their boring, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous, thank you. Item 6, review operator's license appeal letter, discussion and possible action.
Stan, I move to approve the operator's license following the applicant's appeal.
Thank you, Brian. Is there a second?
Second. Oh,
Go ahead, Dusty.
There was a little handful.
There was
seconds
3 of
on
them.
Dusty.
Dusty, we'll give Dusty that one. Okay, and discussion.
So for me, when we have an OWI, it's a red flag. We always tend to approve it. When we have a second OWI, it's a bigger red flag. And a couple of us knowing the person that has the second OWI, we're not taking it lightly of what mistakes they've made, but we are seeing the change. So that's why there is multiple seconds, because we're kind of proud of watching this person move forward, and we're not going to let a bad decision a couple of times really affect it, but we do take it very serious, and we have kind of looked into it and seen that there is change there, so.
yeah, very good.
Any other discussion?
Does anyone recall, I know we had another appeal for a denial based on operating while intoxicated, but I recall that was just 1. This is 2. So this would be the first time we've ever looked at 2 within a very brief time period.
Is that true, Chief?
I guess I couldn't speak.
I can't remember. I don't think, yeah.
I can't remember either, but
And
brief
is the-
is relative, in a little bit. I would agree with what Kirk said, that the person is 200 and some days shown a remarked improvement in lifestyle changes, so.
Yeah, I would agree with that, totally. And to take away her livelihood with what she's shown, it just doesn't make sense to me.
So I think, just to be clear, she was charged, but I don't think she's been convicted yet. There was a plea hearing or a scheduling hearing scheduled for this afternoon, and I tried to check CCAP before I came, but it wasn't posted. What's going on? So.
Okay, any further discussion?
Are these ever able to be conditional approvals to no further arrests or evictions?
You know, if there's a pattern of this, you can revoke the license. So if, you know, a month from now, she gets another one, or some other, you know, alcohol-related violation, you can revoke the permit.
And that would mean that someone would have to bring that to the board's attention or to the administrator's attention.
Yep.
North Hudson's a small town. We'll know. Yeah. As silly as that sounds.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of the appeal to allow operator's license signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Item 7, Resolution 2026-05, using electronic signatures for certain administrative documents, approval requested.
Move to approve.
Thank you, Brian. Is there a second?
Second.
Mary, thank you.
Yeah.
Good at that.
Paul, I'm assuming you didn't want me to read all the whereases and be it therefore resolved stuff in here?
No, you don't have to.
Thanks.
And so I,
You can if you want.
yeah.
No.
The resolution is online for those that want to read it. So this came from the administrative offices as we've been trying again to work on process efficiencies, eliminating as much paperwork as possible for everybody's benefit. This was one area that we wanted to make sure that we were clean on as far as what we can and cannot do with electronic signatures. And so this resolution was really just to tick and tie that as we continue to do more and more online and have more electronic documentation. So this really talks about, you know, obviously that it's routine business that we're looking to potentially allow for electronic signatures. It's not ordinances and resolutions and legal documents or any of that. It's just kind of our routine back and forth administrative tasks is what we're asking for in this resolution to, again, to help us continue to go online, electronic.
Yeah, more efficient, that sounds good to me. All righty, any other discussion?
Is there software or something that the person validates their signature, and so that there's a way to trace it? Is there traceability for the
a great
use of the
question.
documentation?
Yes, yep. So Adobe has traceability, and that's the main one that we use. We are also looking at, but didn't want to go there if the board wasn't comfortable, there are other tools as well that are free that we can use to do the online electronic signatures.
Anybody else? Hearing none. All in favor of the approval of Resolution 2026-05? Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. And unanimous decision. Item 8, Plan Commission recommendations. Chair update. Timmy, you're up.
Good evening, President Wecken and the trustees. First of all,
I know our planning commission, we abused that microphone activity, so I apologize for that. But we present such a welcoming environment that we just let the chat and talk. But no, duly noted, I'll definitely make sure they come up to the mic more often on that planning commission. So thank you, Gina. We had 2 items we had to take action on. Of course, both of them are on your agenda tonight, but the first one was 850 6th Street North, the rezoning from C3 industrial commercial to RM3 high-density multifamily residential. So we had an open hearing, public hearing. 4 residents came up and spoke. Some of the key things we talked about was the height, of course, of the building, noise, parking, and a key thing is the traffic on Station Lane. A lot of conversations amongst the residents and the board on that. The hearing was closed, and motion was to approve the rezoning. It was a 4-2 vote, and in general, the planning commission felt that there's something's going to go there, just based off of the development that is being requested, that something's going to happen in that property. It's been vacant for so long that we feel something's going to be there. So we felt it was important to move it up to you guys to understand more about that RM3 and what the new developers presented as far as meeting the ordinance and requirements of 26 units. So, Paul, you want to add anything more to that?
No, and I think the Plan Commission recognized that right now it's zoned commercial industrial, and this was a less impactful use. I don't want to put words in their mouth, but I think I got that
Yep, you're on.
impression that this was better than what could be allowed as a permitted use under the current zoning. So,
Thank you, spot on.
And just for those of you, when we talk about what it could be used, so as a C3, which it is zoned as today, the developers could put in any of the following, and these are just examples, without seeking approval from the board. So this is what they can do as it sits today. Taverns, bars, restaurants, barber shops, photography studios, tanning salons, offices, retail shops, medical clinics, vet clinics, government buildings. They could put in a funeral home. They could put in a financial institution, a bank, a retail store up to 4,000 square feet. And they could then come back for a conditional use for a small engine repair shop, car wash, service station, fitness center, self-storage, goes on and on. So those are things they can do today with the land that they purchased without getting permission from the board. So I do just want to make sure that that is clear, because it's not if we don't do the residential, then nothing's going to go there and it will stay vacant. That is not the case.
Right.
Those days are long gone, I think, so.
Yep, I agree. And like I said, the motion was approved to move forward to hit this level. So if there's no other questions, I mean, you summarized it, and we definitely know that something's going to be there. Something's going to happen. All right, the other one we had action on was the additional parking area on Park Avenue North and 3rd Avenue North. We had an open hearing on that. 5 residents spoke on that, and a lot of discussion was, of course, around the cost, and then, of course, potentially maybe just striping 3rd Street North to get the people off of parking in front of some of the residents that are there, because we had one representative who said that they do park in front of her driveway. But they just felt, the board felt in general some of the options could be maybe looked at additionally as far as what was proposed with the parking lot. So the motion was to deny it, and that again was a 4-2 vote to deny that. You want anything more into that?
yeah, and I think the feeling of the Plan Commission was to not just stop all discussions with it, it was maybe put it back to one of the committees to see if
Yeah.
one of these other alternatives may solve the problem.
Right.
With less cost to the village, and also there was concern about some erosion problems going down there.
Yep, exactly, on the
and
parking lot.
which could be potentially costly to repair. So what's the best use of funds right now for the area, and still try to solve what they perceive as a problem.
Yeah, and some of the discussion got steered to Browns Beach, which is away from the parking lot, but
Yeah.
in general, what Paul summarized is exactly what we talked about, so. Any questions of either one of those two?
I just have a couple comments on the first one, because we've got a lot of feedback from citizens too. And the first thing is that the current plan is far fewer units than the first
From
plan.
49 down to 26.
We don't have a motion out for discussion yet.
No, I was just, no, I'm not just.
No, I'm just summarizing, but yeah, from 49, married to 26, yep.
And then there was a traffic study done in March on this property that identified there would be no impact to traffic.
They
from-
presented that to us in front of us also, yes, and I thank you for summarizing that, but yes, they did, and, but I'll be honest with you, the residents still concerned about the width of Station Lane and what traffic can come through, from garbage trucks to, obviously, fire trucks, so forth and so on. It's obviously a concern. I know that area, yeah. But you're right, there was a traffic study done, and the developers presented that in front of us, so. Any other questions?
Any other questions for Tim?
I need to run off to another one, but I appreciate it. You good? Good luck. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Tim.
Thanks for the update, Tim. And that would bring us up to petition by Wisconsin Development LLC, R. Tom Toy and Idris Sabani to rezone 856th Street North, Hudson, Wisconsin, 54016, from a C3 industrial commercial to RM3 high-density multi-family residence. Discussion and possible action.
Stan, I move to table the rezoning request from applicant Wiz Development LLC to rezone 856th Street North Hudson, Wisconsin, 54016 from C3 to RM3 multiple family residence.
Thank you, Brian. Is there a second?
I can still ask questions after I second it, correct? Yeah, I second.
Okay. Right. John. All right, discussion.
Yeah, I watched the plan meeting, but I personally have some interest in, we've cut the size almost in half, but it still has to be 3 stories. I mean, and I understand parking's on the first floor, and then there's 2 stories of apartments above it. Could it be underground parking? We don't really have a downtown. It's kind of mixed mush going through there, but seeing this big 3-story apartment building also looks weird. And I know that's not all of the complaints we got from some of our residents there. I mean, that was one of them. But I would be, as we go forward, like take this month to think about things, I would like to understand that better. And, the word high density is kind of scary for some of us versus a medium density. Is that economically still viable for you? I don't know if we go back to have them come in and answer some questions or not, but.
So in my thinking on tabling, based on what Mary pointed out already, we received a lot of emails about this subject. And in none of those did it seem clear to me that they understood if we don't rezone to residential, they can build commercial. And I feel like I'd really like to hear back from those people now that they're hearing directly from us that they can build one way or the other. Do they want commercial or do they want residential in there? So I wanted to give them 30 days to email us back now that they clearly hear. Would you rather have one of those businesses that she's talking about and possible semis running in and out and unloading, or do you want residential? So it's going to be one or the other, and I feel like I'd like to hear or give our residents that are sent me all those emails and talk to me a chance to actually think about what would I rather have. So I thought a 30-day delay to give them that opportunity to think that through, because it just didn't seem clear to me that they understood it's going to be one or the other.
I think that's a very good point.
Something's going in there, like Tim said, but which one's the best impact? I mean, obviously, we do have the issue with traffic. Traffic's going to happen, but eventually that's, it's a priority down the road for us to look at as well. So, I mean, we're going to definitely be focusing on that stuff. I know we have this traffic that we got from you guys on this, looking at it, but we have a lot else that's going to be happening here coming up. We need to do something with Cratley Station Circle and 35, which we have to talk to the state about. But we also need to look at the fact that Station Lane, I mean, that road is still not the best condition. Like, there needs to be a lot of updating to Station Circle to allow to have this coming in there as well. But I do feel that we should probably let the residents know, you know, which is which. But there's a lot more that's gonna have to happen down the road too. That's my thoughts on some of the stuff.
And there's a whole, I mean, they would still, even if we said yes to R3, there's a whole development plan process that they have to go through, which is a lot more nitty-gritty detail to deal with the road, to deal with the parking, to deal with all that. All we're saying is to our residents, do you want to leave it C3, which would allow them to build immediately, as long as they follow our ordinances, a commercial building in there, or would you prefer to have residential in there? So this is only about zoning. The other meetings coming down the road are much bigger than the rezone.
So for the developers, are we saying we're not asking for any additional information? We don't need anything else. This pause, if we agreed to a pause, is solely for the residents to decide, to understand what our current zoning is, which has been the zoning for a long time.
Over 10 years.
Is that really, is it a resident education period? Is that, because if that's the intent, then we should do that. Otherwise, we're not going to gain anything by next month. And I'm not sure we're going to gain anything by next month anyway, because I think people are just very clear they don't want something there, period. End of story.
It was just my thought, Mary. that-
Yeah, so I guess so, but
Basi-
are we going to do something? Like it,
Oh, I think in-
otherwise we'll be right where we are today.
Oh, I think in 30 days we vote,
Yep. I think so too.
next meeting. That's just my opinion.
Well, I'm good with that, because, yeah, there's, I think all of us were on the email list, and we got plenty of them, so we definitely heard from the residents in that area, and we, yeah, and like we said, if it stays as commercial, they could go right now without, as long as they follow our ordinances in the zonings properly, so I think tabling it and getting the input from more of the residents, that now that we've made it clear that there's one or the other, and what they would prefer, I myself don't really care for that 3 stories, just as you come into town right there, so I wish they would somehow change that, but again, we either, something's gonna go in there, and that's, that's up to, us and the developer to make it clear.
We did get a letter from the chamber, from the Hudson Chamber, that was supportive of this development, because they identify our community needs housing to sustain our healthcare system and to sustain hospitality and all of the things that we enjoy in this area. And I think that's something that, as a board, we really need to think about too when we're thinking about planning for the area.
And Paul, I don't want to speak for you. We did also receive a petition that was signed to protest the change. I did want to just make sure that it was clear in the petition. It stated a statute that talked about that the favorable vote would have to be 3/4 of the members of the board. And I just wanted to confirm that that's actually not true. And in 2025, there was an updated statute that was created to encourage housing, and so it would be a standard majority vote is all that would be needed by the board. So I did want to clarify that on the petition. The information was not quite accurate with the latest laws.
The statute that was referenced was actually repealed in 2017, and then the legislature further clarified as of January 1, 2025, that it's only a simple majority to rezone property.
Okay. Any other further discussion? Okay, the motion on the, is to table the vote until next month, and I guess all in favor, or should we roll call it?
You can roll call it.
Roll call it. All right, Mary?
Yes.
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
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 Okay, unanimous to table until next month and to get more information from the residents. Thank you, guys. Next item is proposed changes to use to add a parking lot on Park Avenue and Third Avenue, Browns Beach parking lot. Discussion, possible action.
Stan, I move to approve the change of use to add a parking area on Park Avenue North and Third Avenue North Browns Beach parking lot supporting visitor parking.
Is there a second?
I second.
John? Discussion?
Gina?
Yeah, I think Tim kind of gave a pretty good summary. So there was, I think, a lot of discussion about the changes that had happened to the stairs and the retaining wall project, and that there's erosion happening as a result of that project. And we did want to clarify that we are working with the developer on that to correct that and remediate that, because we do see that as a part of warranty, if you will, on that project. And so that is being addressed through that separate project. It's not related to the parking lot. So I did want to clarify that. I think, Paul, your point is fair, is if we get to a certain point and that remediation with that developer isn't producing what we need to, could there potentially be a time in the future where additional dollars are needed to do additional remediation? That is a risk, for sure. But I did want to clarify that those dollars are separate from the dollars that are being used to fix the issues or the concerns with the erosion from the initial project.
And we've spent how much already on that?
So we have,
And how much left?
we have 20,000 left. And the board and finance approved 47 initially. So 27 roughly has been spent to date.
So we've already spent 27, we have 20 more, we have the dollars
We
to
have the
complete
dollars in
it?
the budget. Yeah.
Okay, it's in the budget,
We had already approved this.
right,
Yeah, so,
so two.
yeah, so it was an administrative, just to be clear, it was an administrative oversight on the change of use. So you're right, Mary, it started in Park, it went to Public Works, went to Finance, went to the board, and was approved. What we didn't do, and that's what started it back at Plan, was we didn't treat it as a change of use. So it's village right-of-way, and we're changing the use from a right-of-way, AKA road,
Well,
to a
no,
parking
no,
lot.
no. It's still a road.
It's
It's
still
still a road.
Yep,
It's still road right-of-way, and we're gonna put parking
Parking.
in that right-of-way, but we're not saying it's no longer a road.
thank you, okay. But it's considered, we're changing the use because we're adding parking.
Yeah, we're developing that piece of, some of it will be parking and some of it will be blacktop, similar to a street, a village street. So if the board chooses to do that.
So what I understood from what our attorney just said was that, was this even have to go to plan? Because it isn't a change in use, it is a use of the existing right-of-way, and it's not a change of use. Because a road, you said parking is part of a roadway.
Yeah, you can park in a road. Yeah, and I think it got to plan just because we wanted to, I don't want to speak out of turn, but we want a full discussion of the proposed alternative that was presented by one of the neighbors, and give a chance for the public to weigh in on it. So that was why it went through public hearing and through Plan Commission, just to make sure that there was a full vetting through that process of this project and any alternatives that could be done.
Okay.
So you want to repeat your motion again?
Motion to approve the change of use to add a parking area on Park Avenue North, Third Avenue North, Brown Beach parking lot supporting visitor parking. And I forget who seconded it.
I seconded it.
Yeah. Okay. Any further discussion?
So we're reaffirming our prior decision to do this and our prior decision to spend the funds, essentially.
Yeah, and to complete
the
the
motion.
job.
Right.
And what does the final result look like? I feel like there was a discussion, excuse me, about how many spots originally.
Yep, so there is 6 regular and 1 handicap spot that is in the plan from Cedar Core. It should be also in the packet on the back, the last page.
Let everybody look and see.
Did we take this from unassigned? The money for this?
We did.
Yep.
Yep.
So do we vote?
He's letting them look at the, what
Oh.
the design looks like.
Oh, I see. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, Nick?
I think so.
Okay. Any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
One thing they said, why are you supplying a parking lot for a sandbox when the existing parking is plenty? I can't believe you guys did it. It's just ridiculous. That was straight from the plan commission. It's a sandbox. There's enough-
Guys,
They have enough spots.
They're not the ruling body. The
hey, we're
board
not
is the
doing this.
ruling
We're not
body.
doing, guys, we're not doing this.
We're not doing this.
Okay, goodbye. I guess he'll be there too.
All right. See, I knew I should have had my hammer out today. Okay, next item is number 9, Personnel and Finance Committee recommendations, claims, approval requested.
Stan, I move to approve the July 2026 non-recurring claims of $109,370.01.
Thank you, Kirk. Is there a second?
Second.
Thanks, Dusty. Discussion?
Anything out of the ordinary?
We had 3 larger claims this month. The first one was for $6,900 to Clifton Larson Allen for our next installment of our annual audit. We also had the $84,000 payment to the City of Hudson for the Fire Department first installment for the annual fire dues. And $6,000 was paid to Crescent Landscape for the installation of the new playground up in Chief Jansen Park.
Thank
All
you.
within budget.
Thank you. Any other discussion or questions? Hearing none. Brian?
Yes.
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 Yes?
Yes.
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 Thank you. The unanimous claims approved. And item B is update to the North Hudson Parkland dedication and fee in lieu value, discussion, possible action.
Stan, I move to recommend approval of staff to review the North Hudson Parkland dedication and fee in lieu requirements and propose updated recommendation that aligns closer to neighboring communities.
Second.
Dusty, yeah. Okay. Discussion, questions?
Yeah, so this came up recently, of course, 2 months ago. I think we reviewed the fee schedule, which talked about a lot of our fees, but we didn't touch on this fee in lieu of the parkland dedication. And so it was brought to our attention that, like our other fees, we are significantly lower than the municipalities around us, and it caused us to pause and ask why that might be the case and if we wanted to do something about it. So the staff did a little bit of research to determine exactly how far off we were, and it's pretty significant. We're talking 4% dedication fee versus 10 plus in other communities. And again, this is for developments, as it currently sits today, that are 25 acres or larger. It's a requirement for them to either donate an acre of land for public use out of that 25 acres, or in certain cases, in lieu of, give a percentage of their total value of their project back to the community to dedicate to the parks that we already have in place. And so we wanted to look at it. We did, again, enough research to realize we were pretty out of a line. But this one is a little bit bigger than just changing some dollars. We've got ordinances around it. We want to make sure those ordinances are in alignment. We want to make sure our processes are also supporting the alignment of the ordinances. So we were asking for permission from finance and board to dig into this a little bit more, and do the research so we can come back and present some changes potentially, or recommendations to those ordinances for the parkland dedication.
Thank you, Gina. Any questions further questions or discussion?
I just want to comment that gratitude for Park Commissioner John Helgeson, who has brought this up. Rightly so.
Great. Thank him.
Yeah, thanks.
It's a big gap.
Okay, no further discussion, and let's see, we don't have to roll call this one, I don't think. So all in favor of the update to the North Hudson Parkland Development Fee in lieu of valued, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, unanimous. Public Works.
Stan, we did not meet.
Recommendations.
We did not
Chair
meet.
update,
We did not meet in. We did not meet in June, so
Okay.
nothing to bring forward. We are not meeting in July in deference to the Park Board joint meeting, and they need some of our equipment to be able to get that joint meeting up at the fire hall done for Park Board. We will be meeting in August. I'm just going to figure out how to get Pepperfest cleaned up and out of here in time.
Okay, thank you. And next item, number 11, Public Safety Committee recommendations, chair update. Dusty?
Yes, Stan. We did meet, and apparently we had roosters on the mind again. So we had good old animal warden Darrell Hall come in and kind of discuss a little bit more about roosters. And we discovered that there is something known as a rooster collar that has been being used by a few of our people that have been known to have some roosters crowing out there, and apparently it's doing the job. So we may have to not have to worry about it too much anymore. And people can find this online at Amazon, anything like that. Basically what it does is just stops them from breathing all the way out so they can crow. So it's pretty much doing like 80% of, making sure that they're quiet. So far we haven't had any incidents since. Don't think we've had any more calls since. So I think we are doing a pretty good job with the rooster crowing situation. We did also talk about just emergency operation plan update. And then just kind of going over equipment planning and capital stuff for future needs. That's it.
Thank you.
You teased that update. I got a good update coming for you, Kirk. Thank you, Dustin.
All right, next item, number 12, Public Welfare Committee recommendations, chair update. Kirk?
We did not meet.
Did not meet. And Park Board Committee recommendations, chair update. Mary?
Yes, so we did meet. We've got a few things and one thing to bring forward. Was raised by Public Works Director Matt Howell that there's been a fair amount of vandalism in the parks, and we wanted residents to be aware of that, to be watching, and to make sure that they contact our public safety police department if they see those issues. And obviously, I think the message from Matt was to please watch your children. We are seeing, there were 100 reservations for pickleball in that previous month, so that was pretty amazing. Great use of pickleball courts. As was mentioned, we are having a joint meeting with the City of Hudson, which is scheduled on our regular date, 7/21/26 at 6 p.m. At the Hudson Fire Hall. And we'll have the agenda posted as soon as it's finalized between the village and the city. And the purpose of it is to discuss the future for the Lake Malibu Basin recreation area to be a park area. And then the issue that we were bringing forward was the great news about Chief Jansen Park being open, and if you haven't seen that park, I encourage you to go take a look. If you have a child in your life, bring the child along because they are loving it. I think Trustee Rowdy has
I can
his
attest.
own personal
Yes.
story about that, yes. Kids spent like 4 hours there.
Oh, no. No, like 16.
That's great. We are going to have a ribbon cutting, and what the park board was bringing forth was a recommended date for the ribbon cutting, but we found out there was a conflict with that date. So we do have a follow-up date, which is a week from today at 5:30 at Chief Jansen Park. Everyone's invited to come and watch the ribbon be cut and take a look at the park. So we hope everyone that can be there is there, and that's it.
We got more pickleball courts coming?
Maybe. We're working on the long-term planning, yeah.
Swearing.
All right. Now, let's see, that's the end of the chair update for Park Board. There's nothing to vote on. So at 6:45, we stand adjourned.
That's a happy